People often ask me, gee, should I raise money from angels or from VCs or family offices, high net worth individuals? And I said, hey, it depends. And so this part is titled Angels versus VCs. What are the pros and cons? And each has its advantage and disadvantages. In general, one of the delineators between angels and VCs is the amount of money that you want to raise. So if you want to raise something in the order of, 300,000 to say $1 million or a little more than $1 million, you ought to go with angels because VCs are not going to be interested in such a small amount. VCs generally want to invest something like $2.5 to $5 million minimum. That's their bite size. Why is that? Well, think about a fund, let's say it's like Shepherd Ventures, an $80 million fund. We made, let's call it 20 investments. We actually made 18. So you do the math, that means something like $4 million going to work for each company. I can't afford to have 50 relationships. We only had 3 partners. And the number of boards that a venture capitalist can sit on, and we always sit on the boards, is about 5 or 6. So with 3 of us, we can handle 18 to 20 companies. We can't handle 50. So the right number for us is 80 million divided by 3 or $4 million, and that means it's about 18 companies with a bite size around 4 million. So there's a gap between where the angels sort of peter out. They have a hard time raising more than $1 million. I know some deals where angels have raised $2 million, but that's pretty rare. Generally, they're 300 to 700, and at $1 million, the air is getting rare. And VCs start to get interested around 4 million, 3.5, 4 million, and so the gap in between is difficult. If you want to raise, if you want to raise 5 million, definitely you're going to do VCs. If you want to raise less than $1 million, you definitely want to do angels. The other thing is, how much preparation should an entrepreneur make before he or she approaches a venture capitalist on valuation, for example, on the term sheet, on the offering documents? Well, there's a big difference between angels and venture capitalists there. If you're raising money from angels, you definitely want to have a proposed valuation. You want to say, well, I think my company's worth 5 million, and here's the term sheet, and here are the offering documents. Venture capitalists will not be happy with that because they generally will value what the company is worth themselves. They'll figure it out. They don't want to hear from you about it. And they have their own term sheets, as well as they have a lawyer that's going to offer up offering documents. And so for venture capitalists, they don't want to see that you're telling them what the valuation is. They don't want to see a term sheet from you. And they certainly are not going to pay any attention to offering documents. However, if you're raising money from angels, you probably are going to have to spend $5,000 to $10,000 on an offering document from some lawyer. How about the type of stock? Well, I can tell you that all of our investments as a venture capitalist were in preferred stock. We did not take common stock. Generally, venture capitalists will not take common stock. Angels, if they are in a group like the Tech Coast Angels or Keiretsu or any number of angel organizations, will also generally want preferred stock. Individual angels or high net worth individuals often will buy common, particularly if this is a seed round and it's less than, say, $400,000. Individual angels will buy common stock. How about convertible notes? I see a lot of convertible notes being used in angel investing. Generally, venture capitalists are not interested in convertible notes unless the company